And then State versus Mtetwa is 2004, Volume 1, SACR 449, and it's Eastern Cape Division. Now, it couldn't be more clear that there is no authority then for the proposition that Ms. van den Heever, other than Satchwell's judgment, which has differing treatment by everyone else. So there isn't
which is also a High Court judgment.
Which are High Court judgments. So the law is contested. And let me take it one step further then, Commissioner Baloyi, because it was noted by the Supreme Court of Appeal subsequently, and for that, the judgment chair is State versus Matlala, Makhala. And the neutral Safley citation is 2022, ZASCA 19. And it's a judgment of Justice Unterhalter. And the paragraph I'd like to refer you to is paragraph 29 of that judgment. And the first sentence of that paragraph says, Justice Unterhalter, our case law has not taken a consistent approach as to whether the rights recognized in Section 35 that are of application to arrested or detained persons are also enjoyed by persons suspected by the police of committing a crime who have not been arrested or detained. And he says that the summary of this is set out in State versus Ori. You can read it in the Unterhalter judgment, the inconsistent approach that our courts in the High Court have taken. And this is arbiter on his part, where he says any such rights of a suspect cannot derive from Section 35, because Section 35 is concerned with rights of arrested, detained, and accused person, etc. Now, I'm not going to read all of it. That's his view. It's arbiter. For the purposes of this decision, he says he'll assume that the rights apply, and then he still finds against the proposition. So it's summarized, again, by the Supreme Court of Appeal. So the Satchwell judgment is not a judgment I would say we can rely upon for the proposition.
Chairperson, in my learned friend's speech, I could have quoted all the other cases where it was...
Just a minute, I'll listen to you just now. Yes, Ms. van den Heever. Just before that, perhaps, Ms. Hassim, can you please remind us why you say former President Zuma wasn't accused in the context of Justice Jafta's judgment?
Well, he was accused in the arms deal-related corruption case, and part of the evidence and the questioning, etc., in the Zondo Commission would have revolved around that. That was the essence of the Zondo Commission's mandate.
Which then makes it subject to what Ms. van den Heever says, it makes it analogous. Yes, you wanted to. Thank you, Ms. Hassim. Yes, yes.
Chairperson, first of all, the Sibian case was followed in 8 different matters in this country and 3 more in Namibia. So it's not a matter that just stands there in isolation. It was followed many more times when it was discarded or where there was rulings against it but in other divisions, as an example. That's number one. Why I'm saying that whole judgment in Zuma was not decided against the background of him specific giving evidence and invoking his right as an accused person. Remember what happened there is he just refused to go and give evidence. He ran away from giving evidence. And then they endeavored to invoke his right to silence from say almost from the side. So it's a totally different scenario than what you are dealing with a person that's giving evidence and now invoking the right as an accused person. Thank you.
I'm not sure that in substance I get that distinction, but you've made your point, we've heard it. But I'm not sure that in substance it makes sense. I said I was inclined to overrule your objection. I now do so. I overrule the objection that Mr. Matlala is legally and indeed constitutionally entitled not to answer Ms. Hassim's question. Mr. Matlala, you will have to answer the question. Just a minute. With regard to the wider constitutional issues that have been raised by Ms. van den Heever, I'm not in a position to make a reasoned ruling. So what I will rather say is let us see if Ms. Hassim is able to ask questions that will not necessarily raise or implicate the sort of issues that we've heard being raised. Let us see if that is practical from where you are sitting, so that we use time as fruitfully as possible for the rest of the day. So about a ruling on the rest of the broader issues, a ruling may be made perhaps tomorrow morning, I do not know, yeah.
Noted, Chair.
Yes.
If I could just clarify that it wouldn't be...
Or what, Friday morning? Perhaps I should not tie myself to the issue of making a ruling. Let the issues be raised in respect of specifics. Like, for example, now, the Section 35 point has just been raised in relation to an issue on which I believe, hence my ruling, it does not make legal sense at all. So perhaps let me not tie myself to the need to issue a ruling. Let us hear those issues not raised in a generalized manner, but rather raised in respect of specific questions. And we've heard the argument, and perhaps we'll be better placed to deal with them at that stage, as and when they arise. So if you could please repeat your question.
Thank you, Chair.
Ms. Hassim.
Sorry, Chair, before you proceed.
Yes.
Can I please, after answering this question, can I please just rush to the bathroom and then we'll continue after, please?
Let's adjourn, we'll come back when it's indicated.
ClickUp AI super agents help me with everything. It makes sure my candies are always stocked. And every day, it lowballs 100 antique figurines on Marketplace. I love the little ceramic cats the most. It created an automation to remind me when my grandkids' birthdays were coming up. It even suggests a few gift ideas that I can pick from. Getting the socks, please. My super agent even comments when my kids post something on social media. I mean, gosh, I don't even have to think about what I'm gonna make for dinner. I love ambrosia. And the agent will text my kids whenever they're within a 5-mile radius of my house. Then he turns my oven to 350 and starts baking my famous cookies. Automation doesn't replace love, it just optimizes it.
We are ready to resume. Please make sure that your devices are quiet. Thank you. Let's stand.
Please repeat your question, Ms. Hassan.
Thank you, Chair. Mr. Matlala, let me just reverse a moment so that we bring back the context to the question, because we've spent some time on other matters, so it's 1, 2, 3 paragraphs from the bottom, just to take you back to the discussion on Mr. Motsumi, right? And that's where General Mkhwanazi says the information is about information you gave him. This is when he gave me this information, the information about Steve Motsumi. He gave the address of the house of Steve Motsumi. He told me about the activities of Sibia, how Sibia is collecting money, etc. You've got that paragraph.
Yes, I do.
Okay. Now, the question to you is, what, you said that you only told him this in response to a question from General Mkhwanazi, correct?
Yes.
What was the question that General Mkhwanazi put to you?
The question was if General Sibia is collecting money from anyone in Gauteng.
So that question doesn't refer to General Motsumi. A question to you that
Mr. Mutumi.
Mr. Motsumi.
Yes, I was getting to that, yes.
Oh, okay, so I'm sorry, I heard you say that he asked you whether anyone in Gauteng is, okay?
Yes.
That's not a question that says, is Mr. Motsumi paying General Sibia?
Of course, yes, yeah.
Okay, so that's not the question then that General Mkhwanazi asked you.
No, he asked me if I know of anyone who General Sibia, yes, is collecting money from in Gauteng. And then I said, and then the following question was, do I know General, oh, not General, do I know Mr. Steve Mutumi?
So when General Mkhwanazi said to you, do you know anyone in Gauteng who is paying General Sibia, did you answer him before he asked you about Mr. Motsumi, or did he immediately ask you about Mr. Motsumi?
No, Mr. Mutumi, it was a follow-up question.
So what was the answer to the first question?
Like the anyone question?
Yes.
Yes.
What was the answer to that question?
I said yes.
And did you then volunteer names, or did he then immediately say, well, what was his next question? Let me not frame the question for you.
Yes, yeah, the next question was if Mr. Mutumi knows Mr. General Sibia.
Was there no follow-up to your response that General Sibia was collecting money from people in Gauteng? Did General Mkhwanazi not seek to know who he was collecting money from?
Yes, he did.
And did you give him the names?
Not the names. This is where I said I do not want to incriminate myself.
So we already have an answer from you that it wasn't you that was giving money to Mr. Sibia, to General Sibia, right?
Yes.
Yeah. And you said he was being paid by others, right? So now General Mkhwanazi brings in Mr. Motsumi. He's the one who introduced the name Mr. Motsumi, right?
Yes.
And did he ask you whether Mr. Motsumi pays General Sibia?
Yes, I think he did, yes.
And what was your answer to that?
These are the answers that I said I do not want to incriminate myself.
I need to understand how answering that question will incriminate yourself, because that's why I took you back to your earlier answer where you said you yourself did not make any payments to General Sibia. So how will you incriminate yourself by saying that this person paid General Sibia? I need to understand that because it doesn't seem to follow for me.
I explained earlier, I explained earlier that I have a trial and then I have a case to answer. And then these specific questions that you're asking me now, these are part of the heart of my trial, of my case.
Sorry, Mr.
Chairperson,
Matlala.
that relates directly to the issues under PRECA. PRECA is quite clear about that, and I can understand why he then says he doesn't want to answer.
Just a moment. Which case is this? Because I had understood that the case in Johannesburg is an attempted murder
Yes,
and
yes.
weapons and conspiracy
Yes.
related to that murder.
Okay, Commissioner, let me just clarify, because I see we didn't even have a chance to clarify that. This very same case of attempted murder, I have a plan, not a plan, there is a strategy that we need to present in court, that how did I end up being arrested. So, part of my presentation, it includes my interaction with General Mukhonazi in his apartment. And then it includes the very same topic that we're engaging in now. And then, because something along my discussion with General Mukhonazi went wrong, or someone whispered something in, so I just don't want to go there, because now I see I'm saying things that I don't want to say. But I want to clarify some other things in court, that how did I end up being arrested. It's because of this very same topic that we're discussing now.
So you intend to challenge your arrest?
Yes. Yes, I do.
And because you intend to challenge your arrest, you're not prepared to answer questions about the discussions that took place on the 14th of April 2024?
Not only to challenge my arrest, the build-up of my case, that how did I end up to be where I am now? Where did it start? If it wasn't for this kind of engagements and topics, I wouldn't be where I am now. So this is very important to me, because if I say it now, I might as so then I wouldn't even have a place to start to present my case in court.
I must say I have serious difficulty with that, because you told us here that when you first met General Mukhonazi that very same day, he told you that there's already a warrant for your arrest in relation to that case. That's how I understood your evidence.
Yes. But that warrant has been standing, and then I don't know if maybe I can submit in private, because doing this now is not going to be fair on me, but I can submit it before the end of today now, just for me to explain this, I need to go to the case. There's no other way. I just need to make you understand why I'm saying I want to challenge the build-up of my case, how I ended up being arrested. Yes, I'm facing an attempted murder charge, but even that said warrant, it's been standing, and for it to be where it is now, I think for me to prove it is just to submit to you, and then you can see it for yourself and judge it that, okay, this is where he's going with this thing. But for me to say it now, it will unfortunately spoil my case.
Subject to a further explanation by you, Mr. Matlala, I fail to understand how telling us who the Gauteng people, excluding you, because you've said you did not pay General Sibiya, how telling us who the Gauteng people from whom General Sibiya received or receives money, how that's going to impact your case adversely, I do not understand. And again, let me up front say I'm inclined to rule that you must answer the question. But as I said at the beginning, this is subject to any further explanation you may give. This is only about you to the extent that it's you who's going to answer the question, and who answered the question in response to General Mukhonazi. But for that, it's not about you. It is about those people that you said, I assume you did say, General Sibia was receiving money from. It's about them, not about you. So subject to a cogent explanation by you, I do not understand the point you are making. So I do afford you a further opportunity perhaps to explain in the light of what I've just said.
Thank you, Chair. The first thing is there are no other names. The person who was just mentioned, it was only Mr. Mutumi and General Sibia. But he said people in Gauteng, but he didn't mention any names except the name of Mr. Mutumi and General Sibia. So I cannot give names that I don't know, except the name of Mr. Mutumi and General Sibia.
So you did not give General Mkhwanazi any name?
No, no.
But your answer was, your response was in the positive. You said, yes, General Mkhwanazi does receive payments or collect money from people plural in Gauteng. Sibia, General Sibia. You've said that already in response to Ms. Hasim.
In plural.
So it's those names that I'm asking for.
No, I don't think, maybe you heard wrong. I never said in plural. The names that were mentioned, it was only Mr. Mutumi and
Mr.
General
Mutumi.
Sibi, only,
Right.
not in plural. In plural.
Oh, then I misunderstood. I misunderstood.
So, but it still doesn't answer my question, which is, did Mr. Mutumi pay General Sibia?
I don't know.
Okay. Okay. Now, on your on that same paragraph, where General Mkhwanazi talks about Steve Mutsumi, and he says you told him how Sibia is collecting money. So you're saying that you did not say this. You're therefore disputing what General Mkhwanazi said in this, in Parliament. Because what he is saying is that he told me about Steve Mutsumi, gave me the address of Steve Mutsumi, told me about the activities of Sibia, how Sibia is collecting money, etc. So now you're saying you don't know, but that contradicts what General Mkhwanazi says here, which is that you said how Sibia is collecting money. So it's one of two things. Either you don't know, and that stands, whether Mr. Mutsumi is, but then it raises the chair's question again, which is that there's somebody else then who makes payments to General Sibia. Do you understand?
Yes, I understand, but
Okay.
okay, sorry.
No, go ahead.
If there is someone, then I wouldn't know. So the first thing is that I need to bring to attention is General Mkhwanazi himself already had information. So he was just asking me if I know about what he knows. So it's not like I went there because of my tendered complaints. So then he asked me about these things. So
when he says that you told him how Sibia is collecting money, that's not correct. You did not tell him that.
no, I said to you that for that I do not want to incriminate myself, and I do not want to comment on that.
Okay. So you're saying you don't know whether he received money from Mr. Mutsumi. He received money from others, that you know, but you don't want to name them. That's your position.
Yes.
And I need to ask you then, because it's the same reasoning that applies to the question on Mr. Mutsumi. Why would telling this commission who the other people are that pay Mr. Sibia would incriminate you? Why would that incriminate you?
Maybe when I'm saying incriminating, I'm using the wrong word. I'm basing this on, again, my case in court. So maybe incriminating is not the right word that I'm using, because I'm repeating again that I still have a case to present in court. So I'm already saying a lot here, then meaning that at least leave me with half. I can go to court with half. So don't take everything. So because now you want me to disclose everything here, and then I'll be left with nothing. Just don't strip me naked, please.
Chairperson,
I understand what your position is. You, on this line of questions, you're not claiming a privilege against self-incrimination. You are refusing to answer the question because you say it will compromise your defense strategy. Am I correct? That's the position you've adopted.
Yes, you're correct.
Thank you.
I want to say this. The case you have to defend yourself against is an attempted murder case. My take from what you are saying is that you don't want to incriminate other people, and that's the real reason why you don't want to answer that question.
Can I comment on that, Commissioner? You still don't take it that when I say the way I ended up being arrested, it has to do with my interactions with General Mkhwanazi.
I'm prepared to accept that. The question now is, who are the other people that were paying General General Sibia? Or who did you tell General Mkhwanazi that other people are paying money to General Sibia? And that's the question you're refusing to answer. And you say, yes, there are, but I don't want to mention. And that's why I'm saying my takeaway from that is the issue is not you incriminating yourself. You've already admitted that to Commissioner Baloy. The issue seems to me is you don't want to criminate those people that you know are allegedly giving money to General Sibia. That's how I see it. And I don't speak for my co-commissioners. I'm speaking only for myself.
You are speaking for me, because that's exactly the point the last point I engaged Mr. Matlala on. I even said, this is only about you because the answer came from you, but otherwise it's not about you, it's about those other people. So whatever the right that you are asserting may be, simply does not make sense in this context. Ms. Van der Heever, let me give you an opportunity.
I'm trying to find
Yes.
a practical solution here for this issue, because I don't want us... In his evidence under oath during the ad hoc committee, when he gave evidence, Gerald Mkhwanazi on this very day or the next day said he recorded the whole interaction between himself and Mr. Matlala. Maybe I can ask that be disclosed to us. That would make it very easy for us to deal with the issues. I'm sure that evidence must be available, and I can take my client through it and we can deal with it then before yourselves. No. That's a very simple answer. You utilize...
No, Ms. Van den Heever, no. The witness can say that if he wants to, and he will be engaged about that kind of response. In fact, it has happened where he has referred us to other people and he was told why that was inappropriate or that doesn't help the questions that are being asked. You let the witness answer questions, please. This is not an objection. Earlier, and I meant it when I said I assume that his legal representatives have advised him about what he can do, what defenses he can take. But I think, let him answer the questions, please.
Matlala, you heard me, that my takeaway from all of this is that your concern is not the worry that you'll implicate yourself. Your concern is the worry that you will implicate those people that you told General Mkhwanazi that General CBI is collecting money from. And that's your real reason for not wanting to answer this question.
No, that's not the real reason, Commissioner. I already said that I do not know if Mr. Mutsumi was giving General CBI money. So I cannot say something that I do not know. So what I said I know is that, yes, other people, which I cannot name people that I do not know. But I will know the facts, yes, but maybe the question that you're supposed to ask me is, how do I know that?
Maybe then, because you've just said now, I know that he's collecting money, but I don't know the people he's collecting money from. Did I understand you correctly?
Yes, yes.
Yes.
I
And then
understand
you
correctly.
said, maybe if I ask you, how do you know those facts, then you will be able to elaborate.
Yes, not the names of the people
No,
who are
I'm
giving
past
me
that.
money.
You said you don't
Yes,
know the names.
yes.
But you are able to elaborate if I ask you, how do you know that?
Yes.
Yes, so I'm giving you the opportunity.
So you want me to mention the name?
You said you don't know the names, but you
No,
know
the
the
name-
facts and you are able to elaborate. So I'm giving you the opportunity to elaborate.
Okay. From a third person, not from him directly.
What from a third person?
Come again?
From a third person, but not him directly.
Yes.
What did you hear from a third person and not him directly?
I heard him saying that he went to collect money.
Who?
I'm saying I heard the third person saying that he went to collect money.
Who went to collect money?
Is the third person that I'm saying I'm not willing to mention his name.
The third person, you had a third person say that third person went to collect money, or did you hear from the third person that General Sibia went to collect money?
Yes.
I think that's what we're seeking to clarify. Is it the second one?
Yes.
A third person told you, or you heard from a third person, that
To-
General Sibia went to collect money?
The third person told me.
Yes.
Yes.
That General Sibia collected money?
Yes.
All right.
From the third person, from that third person? General Sibia went to collect money. This you are told by a third person. Did General Sibia collect the money from that person, that third person, or from some other person?
No, that person, I will say maybe he was. How can I put it? A good, what can I say? Someone, a middleman. I don't know how to mention it.
Did you
I'll
say
s-
a middleman?
Yeah, let me say a middleman, yes.
They were a conduit of money.
Come again?
That third person was a conduit of money between General Sibia and somebody else.
Yes.
Is that what you're saying? Thank you.
And the somebody else, do you know who that somebody else is?
Yes, I know.
And who is that person?
It's Agent Ngosi.
Sergeant Nkosi.
Yes.
I just want to be clear. Are you saying that Sergeant Nkosi is the middleman, or that Sergeant Nkosi is the one who's making payments?
No, I said the middleman.
The middleman. Okay. My question was actually who is making the payment through Sergeant Nkosi?
Yes, I said I don't know.
Are you sure about that? Are you sure about that answer? Because it seems inconsistent with what you've been saying earlier, because we've been going around this issue about other people making payments. And my understanding is that earlier you said you were aware of other people who made payments, but you did not want to mention their names. So you're saying now that you don't know the person who made the payment, but you know that the payment conduit who is Sergeant Nkosi.
Yes, I said I did not want to mention his name, but now you said I have to mention the name, so I just did.
Okay. But you don't know who Sergeant Nkosi is paying the money on behalf of?
Yes, I said I don't know
You
that.
don't know. I'm going to move off that particular line of questioning, Commissioners, unless you have anything. But not off the issue entirely, because the question of the attempted murder charge, you say that the developments of that case have got to do with this interaction that you had with General Mkhwanazi. Have I understood you correctly? That this meeting,
Yes.
you think, sparked a campaign against you, in other words?
Yes.
And you say, and why is it that you say that, first of all? Why do you say that?
Because I just found out after that he even mentioned it that I think he was in, I don't know whether it was IDOC or here the committee, that after I left his place, I went to, I don't know to who, and then I spoke about my meeting with him.
Oh, I see. So it wasn't actually this meeting then, it was your evidence in ad hoc.
Not my evidence. I'm saying I don't remember whether he gave evidence in IDOC or here, but there's somewhere where I read in this, I think it's IDOC, yes, where he said after I left his place, he heard, I don't know from who, that I was telling, I don't know who, but because he didn't mention names, that I've mentioned my meeting, the meeting that I had with him, and then I twisted the story. So I think, I don't know, but I'm just now assuming that I'm thinking that there's someone who told him something which is not what I think, but I didn't get an opportunity anyway to explain that to him. But obviously someone told him something which is different from what I know.
Okay. And you say he said this when he was
I
giving
think
evidence?
it was at a committee, yes.
I think I might be able to find the reference. Give me a moment, please. Okay, well, while we look for it, you are the one that introduced the topic of your attempted murder charge at this meeting at the Pearls, isn't that so?
No, it's not. I did not even know that I had a charge.
You didn't know about it?
Yes.
Okay, so on the same page, 228, where General Mkhwanazi says, if I can just take you, it's 2 paragraphs from the bottom. And he says, so I take note of all of these things. So now this is the paragraph immediately after the Mutsumi and the payments and all of that. And what General Mkhwanazi says, so I take note of all of these things. And then he asked one thing, but the other one was just a comment which I could not do much about. The first one was, I've got this contract, I've got so many people I should be paying, but I have not paid, but the police are not placing an order. Can you get General Nkua to meet up with me so we can discuss and get to hear what the issue is? Then I said, I will talk to General Nkua, but I do not know anything about the contract, but I will talk to her. The feedback will come to Sonona. That is 1. 2, what is the next thing? The next thing is that I hear that there is an investigation in Gauteng into the attempted murder of his ex-girlfriend. What is happening on that? I said, no, do not ask me that question. I am not in Gauteng, I am here. I cannot even answer any question. If you have issues with it, General Snowden is your brother. I don't think that's meant to be Snowden. The only Snowden I know is a whistleblower, American whistleblower. maybe it's Sonona, General Sonona is your brother, because we know you've already described him as your brother, must talk to General Khumalo and establish what the issue is. Now, what General Mkhwanazi is saying here is that you asked him about this investigation in Gauteng into the attempted murder of your ex-girlfriend. So is he not being truthful here when he says this?
Thanks, Advocate Hasim. First of all, what he said to me, even himself, I think they didn't give him full information, because he said to me, my girlfriend from Limpopo. So I said, no, which one? And then he said, the one that she was an actress in Movango. Then I knew that she was talking about the one in Gauteng, not Limpopo. So it cannot be that I told him about that. So it's him who said to me, the warrant now at this stage, it is not being signed even by the magistrate. It has only been signed by the prosecutor. So, but after whatever, I don't know who told him, I don't know what, and then that warrant ultimately went, and then it was signed by the prosecutor, by the magistrate now. But he told me that at this stage it was only signed by the prosecutor, so I did not know that there was a warrant that was standing up. So I wouldn't even go confront him. For me, I would think that he might even arrest me. So if I knew that, okay, there was a warrant that he had, first thing that I was going to do is just to hand myself over to the police. So I wouldn't want to discuss something that I know it wouldn't benefit me with anything.
Okay, so you're confirming that he was not being truthful when he said this?
I don't know, I'm not saying he was not being truthful, maybe he's confusing the facts.
Okay, so you're not saying he's not being truthful, but you say maybe he's confused. And you say that you did not ask him. That's what you're really trying to say. You did not ask him about the attempted murder investigation.
I did not know that it existed by then.
Okay. So do you know when the warrant was signed?
Yes, I know.
When was it signed?
On the 13th of May, 2025.
Okay.
A day before I was arrested.
The day before you were arrested?
Yes.
Okay. So, on the issue of well, no, let me not go there, because I know you're not going to answer about the contract. Let me go back to the question of the Nangi, which we didn't close, that Nangi docket, which we spoke about. Now, the Nangi issue came up in the meeting at the Pearls, right?
Yes.
And did you convey, if I understood your evidence earlier, you had not yet met with Mr. Nangi?
By then, yes.
By then?
Yes.
You had not yet met with him?
Yes.
So you undertook to speak to Mr. Nangi to encourage him to withdraw the charges, to withdraw the complaint, rather?
Yes.
Yes.
But before that, I explained to Mr. Sonona before we even went to him that my wife and Mr. Nangi's wife are very close, because the kids go to the same school.
Yes.
Yes.
So you subsequently went to speak to Mr. Nangi, and I suppose, and I think you said you don't recall when?
Yes, I don't recall when, yes.
And so, why would you be discussing Mr. Nangi before General Mkhwanazi meeting, and in fact, even before you get these documents, why would you be discussing Mr. Nangi with General Sinona?
I explained that earlier, Commissioner, that he told me that they wanted help to convince Mr. Nangi to withdraw the charges.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, my question is, for him to speak to you about Mr. Nangi, he must know something about your relationship or your interactions or your dealings with Mr. Nangi, and because otherwise there is no explanation why he even starts the conversation with you about Mr. Nangi and not anyone else in your complex or anyone else down your road. So what is it that gives him an in into discussing Mr. Nangi with you?
He is the one who arrested Mr. Not him personally, but his team. And then they arrested him in the same estate that I live in. And then he asked me if I know him, because at that day there was a lot of police in that estate. And I told him that I do not know him, but I know my wife knows his wife. So I will ask through my wife, and then I'll go to know Mr. Nangi.
Thank you.
Ms. Hassim, didn't General Senona say when he found out that Mr. Matlala was neighbors with a suspected kidnapper, he wanted to warn Mr. Matlala because he's his friend? Sorry, Mr. Matlala. Wasn't that his evidence?
Yes, that was his evidence. Before we go there, Commissioner Khumalo, I just want clarity in response to the question that Commissioner Baloy asked when you said it was his team that did this arrest. Whose team?
Mr. Senona.
Senona's team. Okay. Commissioner Khumalo, did you have a question about, I mean, you can go there. I'm also going to get there at some point, but I'm happy for you to do it.
you deal with it, because I just saw the transcript that you were in fact leading that evidence, so I'm going to leave that to you.
I don't have the transcript, that particular reference with me now. So if you have the reference and wish to go there, that's fine, but either way.
But I'm not sure if you are able to comment, Mr. Matlala, but Mr. General Senona, in his evidence, when we asked him why he shared the Nangi dossier with you, he said because you were close and he had just found out that a known kidnapper is living in the same complex as you, and he wanted to warn you as his friend about him so that you watch yourself and your kids, I suppose. Did you know anything about that?
And then the documents that he sent me?
Yes.
Yeah.
The complaint with the...
It was not a warning.
It has Mr. Nangi's charge sheet, it has his ID numbers, it has the complaint against the 6 policemen who allegedly arrested him or harassed him.
Or you saying the documents he sent me because as a warning?
Yes.
I did not know that, Commissioner.
Did he have that discussion with you when he sent you those documents?
No. What I know that he asked me, but obviously I knew that arrest when it happened. It is in the estate. I think everybody knew about it. So he asked me. I said, yes, I know him. Obviously, the school is the same school as my son and his son. Then I said, yeah, through my wife I can ask that. So that's what I know. So
the only issue he discussed with you in relation to Mr. Nangi was, do you know him? Can you talk to him about the complaint against the other police?
It was about to withdraw the charges.
Yes.
Yes.
Thank you.
And you say that's why he sent you these documents, in your understanding. He sent the documents because he was giving you this information so that you could speak to Mr. Nangi.
Not about the warning.
Yeah, no, to drop the charge, to drop the complaint against General Mkhwanazi and others. Thank you.
I can put a different proposition to you, that it wasn't provided to you to request that you to speak to him to withdraw the charges against General Mkhwanazi, but it's to request that he withdraws the charges against General Senona's team.
His team, yes.
Yes.
Whose team?
General Senona's team. If you want to have a look, we were looking at it earlier. It's, oh gosh, this file 2.1.
I think it's this one.
Page 22 and 23. Do you have it?
Yes, I have.
Okay, so you'll see who the complaint is made against. And on 22, you'll see that it begins with a Durban Metro police officer, and then it has a private individual who works at Vision Tactical, a Yassine Teba, who works at Vision Tactical. And then Yakub Desai, also seems to be somebody who works in the private security industry. And then you've got Captain Enoch, who is with DPCI KZN. And then you've got a constable from SAPS. You've got Colonel Dawood from the anti-kidnapping unit. You have General Mkhonazi as the provincial police commissioner, and then another Colonel Dina Govender, who is with the DPCI KZN. So you'll see that the provincial Hawks members were involved in this arrest, right? That was General Sonona's team.
Okay.
So my proposition to you is that the reason General Sonona sent you these more than 200 pages with all of this confidential information is to try to get you to withdraw, to get Mr. Nangi to withdraw the complaint against his team, that it wasn't actually in General Mkhonazi's interest that he was asking you to do this and sending you the documents, but in his own interests.
Yes, but I wouldn't know that.
Okay, so I thought you mentioned earlier that he spoke about his team that was involved. He didn't say to you.
Yes, but
that-
he also mentioned General Mkhonazi.
Okay, but he didn't say to you specifically anything about his team.
No, he mentioned his team, yes, and then he said he's not involved. It's his team and General Mkhonazi.
Right. So when you met then at the Pearls, remember he sends us to you 10 March. Now you meet at the Pearls 15 April. Did you understand from this meeting, because you say you only met then with Mr. Nangi after this meeting, was this an understanding from you to be a quid pro quo for General Mkhonazi facilitating access to General Mkua for you?
Advocate Hasim, I don't understand Latin. What is quid pro quo?
Okay. Was this an exchange for him doing you a favor in relation to General Mkua, that you would then ask Mr. Nangi to drop this?
Yes, I assume that, yes.
You thought it was a quid pro quo, it was a favor, it was an exchange you were doing for General Mkhonazi. Is that what you're saying?
Yes, I thought so, yes.
So when you spoke to Mr. Nangi, what did you say to Mr. Nangi?
I explained to him exactly that to withdraw the charges. I told him that General Sonona is very close to me, so I asked him to do this because on behalf of because General Sonona was very concerned about his team. So I was doing this on his behalf, yes, because I did not know General Mkhonazi anyway, so I couldn't say he's my friend or something. So the only person who was close to me, it was General Sonona.
So if I understand you correctly, what you said to Mr. Nangi is, General Sonona is close to me, my older brother, he's very concerned about his team. Can you drop this complaint?
Yes.
And then what did Mr. Nangi say to you?
I think he gave me 2 or 3 days, and then after he came back, he said to me, he can do it, but his brother-in-law and his other, I don't know whether he's a friend or accused or whatever, they refused to do it. And I told that to General Senona.
Okay, and then you communicated that reluctance to General Senona, isn't that so?
Yes, I did.
And how did you do that?
Say that again?
How did you communicate it to him?
I don't remember whether I called or I saw him, because I saw him a couple of times, like I mentioned, so I don't know whether I called him or we met.
Okay, so in your ad hoc, if I could just jog your memory, it's at page 27. Page 27.
Yes. It's fine, I can see the
You can see it on the screen.
Yes.
Thank you. All right. Now, it's quite small, and there are no line numbers. So I'm going to try to direct you there. It's about a third of the way up the page. There's an exchange between you and Mr. Arendse. You see that, Advocate Arendse?
Yes, I do.
Okay. And he asks you this question, and let me know if you can find it. He says, then you say you communicated Nangi's reluctance to Lieutenant General Mkhwanazi via General Senona. Do you see that?
Yes.
And then you say, can you repeat that? And then he reminds you, in the draft statement, you said you communicated it to General Senona. You see that?
Of course, yes.
And then he asks you, how did you do that? And you say, I called him. And then Advocate Arendse confirms, you called Senona to tell him that you spoke to Nangi, and he was not prepared, and your answer to that is yes. You see that?
Yes, I see that.
Okay. So you called General Senona.
Okay.
Well, it's not for me to say, okay, you agree that you called him.
No, yes, I called, yes. I can see now here from the transcript that I called him.
Okay. Now, when General Senona was here before this commission, he said, and maybe we should go there, it's file 2, page 85. You've got it?
No,
I don't
I
see
thought
it on
I'll
the
see it on the
screen, so
screen, yeah.
Do you have it?
It's fine, I'll check it, yeah. No, it's fine, it's here, yeah.
You've got it, all right. Okay, so this was when General Senona was testifying before the commission on the 28th of January 2026. And he says, he contradicts you on this point. He says, I never met with Mr. Matlala to discuss the withdrawal of the case by Mr. Nangi. And even in the calls, when we were talking about the calls, Mr. Matlala never informed me about this. So he is denying that you called him. So is he not being truthful here when he says that?
What I see here is he's saying that he don't have a recollection of that thing happening. He don't recall it. So meaning maybe he might have forgotten that I called him.
No. No, he says this call that it never happened. Let me just find the line. If you look line 20,
Even line 10, I
21.
think. After, okay, 21.
So the first I took you to where he says, I never met with Mr. Matlala to discuss this Nangi thing. So he denies one, he ever discussed it with you. He denies two, that you called him. And if you look at 21, he says, this call, it never happened with this discussion. It did not happen.
In fact, also says he did not even hear the discussion in the meeting of the 15th of April.
Yeah.
Maybe because he was drinking whiskey, he was a bit tipsy. I don't know. But I see here he's saying, I do not deny that it didn't happen, but I don't really remember it. So I don't know whether he forgot or something, because he was busy with his whiskey there. But anyway, I didn't tell him on the 15th of April. It was after that.
Let me just clarify. So on the 15th of April, what he's saying is you didn't discuss it. That's a separate point from the call.
Okay, on 15th April, he's saying we did not discuss what?
The Nangi issue.
Okay.
But we'll deal with that. But
yes.
my question to you is, he also says that you never called him to tell him the outcome of your conversation with Mr. Nangi.
Can you go to our chats? Maybe we'll check in our chats.
Well, we can go through your chats, but we see quite a number of calls between you and General Sonona, but we obviously won't know what you discuss in the calls.
But he asked me for something, and then he's someone that I take as my big brother. There was no way that I will just leave him in the dark. I explained that to him.
Right.
He knows it very well. So
you did call him,
yes.
and you did explain what your conversation was with Mr.
Yes, I did.
Okay. On the 15th of April issue, you said he was drinking whiskey.
Yes.
And can you just explain to us this? Because I don't know, how long was this meeting?
Not more than an hour.
Not more than an hour?
Yes, I'll say yes.
So I don't know.
An hour max, I'll say.
An hour max. So, and when he was drinking whiskey, where was he?
He was not far from, that place is small, he was not far from us.
Right. So he was having his whiskey and he could hear what the conversation was because it was a small place.
Yeah, it's a very small place, yes.
So he could hear?
If you want to, yeah, you can hear.
Right. And
In fact, on that, but I don't have the right place now. But where we were earlier, on General Mkwanazi's testimony at the ad hoc committee, where you were referred to, even though that part was not read, General Mkwanazi also makes the point you've just made that the space where you were is very small. Even if someone is where the kitchen or kitchenette is and where the dining room area is, where the couches were, he says a person, wherever they were in that space, they were within earshot and they would have heard everything that was being discussed. You confirm that? That's my understanding.
Yes, I do.
Thank you.
Okay, and that's fine, thank you. I'm going to leave that topic. In your conversations with General Sonona, we see that you share a lot of information. There's another batch of information that he shared with you I'd like to take you to. And that was around the 13th of April. So if we could just go to file 2. Page 11.
it the same file too?
Yeah, oh,
File 2.
yeah, I wanted to find out whether it's 11 below the yellow tab or 11 above that, because there are two 11s. In fact, there are two of everything.
Oh. Yeah, it's after the yellow tab.
After the, all right, thank you.
So that's page 11, and if you see at the bottom of that page, and this is 13 April 2025, there's a document that's sent to you. It's called Annexure SEN 3, and then there's another document sent to you at exactly the same time. It's called Memo Biz Traces, and it's Annexure SEN 4. And then over the page 12, you'll see another document sent to you, SEN 5. And if you look at the timestamps, they all have 1632. They are literally delivered split seconds apart. So you sent them as one batch, these three annexures to General Sonona, okay? Do you see that?
Yes, I do.
Okay. Is there anything you want to comment on at this point on these annexures before I go there?
I don't, maybe if you can open them.
That's
I
fine.
don't know what it is.
That's fine. So SEN 3 is at page 17 of that bundle. Do you have it?
Yes, I do.
This looks like a company search for the Senzo and Tembeka Mkhunu Foundation. Do you agree?
Yes, I agree.
And it has the usual information on it when you do a company search. So why did you send this to General Sonona?
This thing is forwarded. I received it from someone else, and then he said I must send it to him.
Who did you receive it from?
From a guy called Kelvin. He's a forensic investigator.
What's Calvin's surname?
Rafadi.
Calvin Rafadi sent it to you.
Yes.
And what did he asked you to send it to General Sonona, is that what you're saying?
Yes, he was applying for a job, so he said he wanted to impress General Sonona to show him that there's a couple of things that he's busy investigating, so this was one of them. So it's not only, I think it's a couple of things that I've sent to General Sonona from Kelvin, yes.
Yeah. So he said that these are things that he's investigating, and he wants to impress General Sonona, so he wants you to forward these things to General Sonona, to show General Sonona what he's busy with.
Yes, yes.
So that would mean that one of the things he was investigating was the Senzo and Tembeka Mkhunu Foundation.
Yes.
All right. SEN 4 is at page 22. So, and this is a memo, and it's the subject of the memo is the confidential information concerning the honorable identity of the president. And then he includes information and identity numbers of President Cyril Ramaphosa. You see that?
Yes, I do.
So this was also something that Mr. Rafadi was investigating?
Yes.
And do you know anything about this investigation?
No, I was just forwarding these things. I don't know anything about them.
Did you have a look at these documents when he sent it?
I'll just forward. I didn't have time to check documents.
So you didn't read it?
No, I didn't.
And then if, there should be one more. SEN 5. That's at page 26. And that is a newspaper article. And it concerns reported corruption in the Rustenburg municipality. So I presume your answer here will be also that this is something that Mr. Rafadi was involved in.
Yes, of course. Yeah, I think if you can go to my cell phone, you'll see all of these things are from him. They were just forwarding them.
Okay. So did you read this? You didn't read this either, this
No.
document?
I'll just forward it to Mr. Sonona.
Okay. And when you forwarded it to General Sonona, what did you say to him?
Every time I forward them, I'll tell him that I'm sending you a staff from Kelvin. But by then he knew that this guy wanted the post. He even applied for the national, because actually he applied for, what is it, to be head of DPCI nationally. But he thought because of he's not from law enforcement, he didn't have that hope that he will get that opportunity, but he thought maybe if General Sonona can get it, because even General Sonona applied for that, maybe General Sonona can squeeze him to the provincial post, maybe.
So you're saying General Sonona had applied for the position of the head of the Hawks, national
Yes.
head,
Yes.
and Mr. Rafadi
He also applied also.
also applied for head of the Hawks
Yes.
nationally.
Yes.
But he was not confident of his chances of his application succeeding. So he wanted General Sonona to assist him with some other position in the Hawks.
Yes. If he gets that position, maybe he can hire, because of what he's doing, maybe he can hire him somewhere.
Okay. And are you close to Mr. Rafadi?
Yes, I am.
What is your relationship? What's the nature of your relationship?
Mr. Rafali actually is someone that I was supposed to hire in my company, but for forensic investigations. But he was furthering his studies, and then I was also helping him to pay for his studies, so that at least I know that when I hire him, he'll be an asset. But at some point, he was a researcher from UJ, I think it's UJ, or VETS, I forgot between the 2 years. Yeah. But he was a criminal researcher for crime or something there.
Okay.
Yes.
And how did you first meet him?
Calvin.
Yes.
We are from the same, he's from, I know him from long time ago. Maybe more than 25 years, 30 years. I'm from long time ago.
Okay. And so do you meet him regularly?
Yes, I did.
And do you still meet Mr. Rafadi? Well, not,
Unfortunately, I can't.
Up until your
Maybe
arrest.
in my dreams, I meet him sometimes, yeah.
Up until your arrest, you had a relationship with
Yes,
him.
yes.
You didn't end at some point.
No, it didn't.
Okay. There's one other issue that arose again in relation to the evidence. I think it was in the ad hoc by General Mkhwanazi, where he says that General Sonona said to him that he was involved in some Lesotho project, or there was an interest that you and General Sonona had in a project in Lesotho that had to do with security services, and that he was interested in taking up a position in this project or a position in your company, and that he was considering even resigning from the SAPS in order to take up this position. Do you know about this? What's your comment on that?
Yes, I do know about it.
Okay, can you tell us about that?
Yes, it was, I won't say presidential protection, because he's Prime Minister in Lesotho. So I've registered a company in Lesotho for VIP protection for the Prime Minister. And so I was in negotiations with them to offer security services for the Prime Minister in Lesotho. VIP let's just say presidential, same as presidential protection, but because there's a prime minister outside. So that's why General Senona wanted to also come on board.
And what position would he have held if he came on board?
He will choose whatever you want.
Okay. When was this to take place, the project?
The dates are forgot. The dates are forgot.
Did it, so do you have the company? Is it up and
The
running?
company have registered it, yes.
Okay. But has General Senona had anything to do with the company since then? I mean, he didn't take, as I understand, he didn't take up this because he decided not to retire and to see
Yes, yeah, that's
see
true.
his service through to the end, and then to take up a position after that. So there's not been any engagement with General Senona and this company, or has there?
Just for clarity, please, can you please repeat that question?
Can you, let me tell you that, let me put it this way. What engagement has General Senona had with this company? Has he done any work for the company? Has he been paid by the company in any way? Has the company provided services to him in any way, benefits to him in any way?
No, he was not even hired. He was considering to, so there was nothing that happened.
Okay, so nothing further took place
Yes,
on the
nothing.
Lesotho
Yes.
company?
No, nothing.
Okay, thank you. Chair, I've noticed it's 4:15. This for me is a convenient time to take a pause, but I haven't reached the end of my questioning of Mr. Matlala. So we will have to return. I ask that Mr. Matlala remains under subpoena and to return on a date to be agreed. We'd have to discuss it with Ms. van den Heever.
That's in order, Ms. van den Heever, especially if the date is one to be arranged between council.
Now, Chairperson, the date will have to be discussed. The issue is we are now returning
To the
on Monday,
trial.
as you know,
To the
to this
trial.
trial, and we need to focus on this trial. So I don't know when your last date is. By you, I mean the Commission's last date. But at this point in time, for the foreseeable future, this is where we're going to be busy doing the trial.
Let's just leave it at that for now. We'll see what comes out of the flash, so to speak.
We'll discuss it,
Yes.
Chair, and come to an arrangement.
Yes, yes.
Thank you.
Mr. Matlala, the hearing of your testimony is postponed to a date to be determined. Let's adjourn and resume at 9:30 tomorrow.
Yes, Chair.
What's that?